Everybody, and welcome to Let's Build Live from Oak Hill Works. How are we all doing? I hope you are well. You will see if you look at the workbench, I have done nothing that I planned on doing during the week, like more coats of paint to the roof and red buffer beams and stuff, but never mind. That is still not what we're doing tonight. Tonight is all about electrics, much more exciting. So yes, good evening everyone, how are you all? Welcome to WJS Productions, how are you? I hope you are well. So the plan for tonight, we're going to try the DCC Concepts pickups, which I have used before, but never on a live stream. I've made my own pickups on a live stream before. These are significantly more simple for people that want nice, simple pickups. I have a plan for how I'm doing all of them, which has not been easy, I'll be honest, because the way the motor comes in here and the gear on the centre wheel does block you being able to actually put one in, so we're going to have to chop one up and all sorts. So that'll be fun. Luckily I bought myself lots and lots of new blades for Javier's favourite tool, and have since last week found the actual handle, so we won't be using my other knife, which is good. So yeah, that is the plan for this evening. We are going to put the wheels on here, get the pickups on, and then get soldering. And yes, Padawan, it's just she got one through the week because the shop came through. It was definitely all the shop and no one else. Hydration is important, everyone. So yeah, so first thing we want to do is get the wheels on the loco. That way we know when we put the pickups on, we're putting them in the right place. So there are lots of those, and we want to remember when we're doing this, we've got 3 that are not on the axles with no insulation, and the 3 on the axles have insulation. So we want to get those the right way round so that we don't short everything out when we're actually playing with it. And yes, as Sophia points out, I have another terrier. You can't have too many terriers. You really can't. And when people will insist on coming into my shop and selling terriers, well, what else am I supposed to do? 26 wagons, 4 efforts, 2 hornbeat, €15, and you pay only £12. That's pretty good. That's very good, let's be honest. It's a better deal than you'd get in my shop. So before we do that, because they obviously aren't going to fix, we filled them up with paint. We need to get the paint out of the inside of the bearings. But it's just a little go with the file, and the insides of the bearings are all nice and shiny again. And good evening, Alexander. How are you? Joining us nice and early this week so you don't miss anything. Well, what you've missed is me getting the paint out of the inside of the bearings. So, in reality, what you've missed is nothing, let's be honest. So we are reassembling the wheels onto the chassis. So we can get some pickups fitted. And good evening, Killian. How are you? I hope you are well. And good evening, Lady Alex. Who, yes, you hadn't said hello. I can see why that would confuse you. We are known for our various Alexes around here. I'm not feeling too bad, Killian. I have some pain in my shoulder this evening. But for the most part, I'm all right. Surviving is the main thing. Bit of load stuff, but only enough for it to be a bargain. Most of it I don't get, of course. Well, yeah, that's fair. See, I only bid on stuff at the last second so that other people don't outbid me. And I still generally only bid if it's a bargain. But yes, you're right, Killian. I am not back to full health. I'm close enough to full health that I can function, though. Which, that'll do. There we are, all the wheels on and able to roll. Centre one's not quite as free, but I'm sure they'll fix themselves and get rid of whatever remnants of paint there are when there's a motor pushing them round at full speed. So yes, the plan for this, after all my times using complicated things like making my own pickups and stuff that we've all seen before, is these nice, easy DCC Concepts wiper pickups. And all you have to do with these is fit them between the wheels. And that's it, that is the pickups. Now they come with a screw so you can screw them into things. That's not going to work in this case. So they are going to be, words, Gary, you can do this. They are going to be araldited in place. See, I can do words. And as I say, this centre set is right in the way of the gear. So the plan is to araldite it in place, get it all solid, and then bring the saw back through and cut the middle section of it out. Once it is solid, that should not be a problem. They're probably going to go the other way around to how they are now, though. So they will be that way round. So I'm good at ruining these, aren't they? They move all over the place when you're setting them up. Should not be better covered for spring detail and have pickups underneath. I looked at that and the answer is no. I'm basically removing everything that way, and there's just not enough material there to keep the bearings for the axles in place if I start cutting through it all, because the axles sit, the bottom of the axles is below the bottom of the frames. So yeah, I did look at that and it came back as a no, unfortunately not. So sort of like that is how they will all go. And then they'll get some wire soldered between them. And then off to the DCC decoder. Alternatively glued pickup base where the firebox ash band should be. See, now that I did look at as well, and is a possible alternative. So let's see what people think. In fact, no, look, because then I'm having to cut away the sandboxes. They're in the way of that, unless I put it the other way up, which causes us possible issues with shorting. But I'm sure I could insulate that. Of course it falls. Let's take the other two off for a minute. But basically, to get it underneath, it would have to sit like that. Which, if I then paint the brass, isn't too bad, but it leaves us with a gap. And yeah, I'm not sure it's great, to be honest. But I shall allow feedback on that. Hydration is important. And yeah, do what the bot says. Smash the like button. Subscribe. All that wonderful stuff. I know you can do it, I believe you. No, well, we're considering if storing space for the gear doesn't work. Yes, indeed. It is good to have options when having to do stuff like this. But yeah, the detail on this chassis doesn't give much in the way of options. And here was me thinking the bots would stay away because they're too busy this evening. Look, I have found this though. See, it's here, it's ready for those bots. Thought they'd be too busy for someone like me that isn't busy shouting how great your crane is. It's even got a terrier on the back. Haha. Although, to be fair, Ukraine is great. Go Ukraine. Deal with that, Russian bots. And there, it's not mythical. It exists. It's right here. But yeah, there you go. The first time I have said anything in any way political on YouTube. I think. I try and stay pretty not political. So yeah, we are going with Araldite because Araldite be strong. It's the 5-minute stuff, which Sophia can tell you definitely sets in only 5 minutes and never takes any longer than that at all. The non-fictional Dan Hammer. Exactly, and good evening, Linda Squid. How are you? I hope you are well. I've lost me bit of balsa I had sat here for putting that on. There it is. And good evening, Lewis. How are you? I hope you are well. So we take our little bit of Araldite. That just goes carefully on the bottom of the pickup. Then get into place and leave it set. Just been playing with Araldite, and did it set in 5 minutes? Good thanks, how are you? I am very well, thank you. He says, as if he's not in loads of pain. I have been in much worse situations than I am in right now, and things could always be worse, so I consider that good. There we go, it goes in now. That was strange, it did not want to sit down on it. Of course it didn't. Never does it? No, we don't want you popping out. That's not how we play this game. So now we have in place all of the pickups. We're going to put a bit more araldite on them, front and back. Just because we really don't want them shifting. Which they are doing slightly, so that's helpful. When I was a young lad, I was riding BMX when the front brake locked up and went flying over the handlebar and cut my chest. That does not sound fun. That sounds like the opposite of fun. That sounds like you had a bad time. My son did something similar last weekend and used his nose as a brake. Also, ouch, I hope he is okay. That does not sound like a fun time. Okay. Got all the excess that I didn't want in there out. It's getting stringier because it's starting to set. Of course, the more set it is, the less chance there is of it moving. There we go. All covered in araldite. So I'll remind you again that hydration is important. So I always remove the front brake off mine. That's why I don't ride bikes anymore. It's too dangerous, bad for your health. Wasn't also avoided crashing into a toddler. I mean, not crashing into a toddler is good. I approve of not crashing into toddlers. He's fine, excellent, glad to hear it. Took part in his first fencing tournament yesterday. Excellent. And how did that go? No, you pressed your finger on it because it had moved and took the araldite with you. So the plan now is that we'll get some wire down each side. That wire can run to the DCC chip. The DCC chip will be sat up in the boiler and will run down to the motor. and obviously vice versa. Good evening, Christopher. How are you? I hope you are well. And good evening, Johnny. How are you? I hope you are well. Only 11th out of 15, but had a couple of his fights were really good. Well, I mean, for a first tournament, I'd be happy with 11 out of 15. I'd be happy with 14 out of 15. But that's just me. So, let's move that out the way. Let's bring that in, because I don't want to move anything yet. I'm even worried doing this isn't going to be a great idea until it's set a bit more. But I don't have that luxury when I'm live on YouTube, really. It needs doing when it needs doing. And of course, if we can get it all wired up tonight, that will be fantastic. Not too bad, thanks. Easy to see how these pickups go. Well, so far they're going good, but you know, so far all I've done is glue them in place. So we are doing electric soldering. That means flux, regular solder, and very hot soldering irons. And we already have very clean brass pads here. I wonder how not quite set yet araldite reacts to nearly 500-degree heat. Find out soon, won't we? Really got to replace that wire in there. I swear I have more of it out on the end of the tip than stays in sometimes. Araldite, when heated, actually cures faster. Excellent, that's what I like to hear. Although I'm not sure that's true for really hot heat. Well, surely really hot heat makes it cure even faster. This will be the fastest curing araldite ever. It might actually do that 5-minute thing it promises. Ha 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 ha. So now we want a bit of red wire. And a bit of black wire. Both over long. Because something's much better if it's too long than if it's too short. Trust me, I'm an expert. Now what would be really nice would be if I could feed this under here. These are not the pliers, these are the ones I wanted. Like that, Linny. Good plan. Now if I've done that well, I can feed this through again. And when this one lined, yes, see, there we go, lined up with both pads. So now we should have, that's not what I want to be picking up, these are what I want to be picking up. A wire that can join all our pickups together. There we are. We'll use the heat-proof ones for this. I've just remembered something. And that something is not a good something. I was going to cut some slots in the chassis so that these could be dropped down slightly. Because the body's got a big solid lump. The rear two should be fine. The front one, on the other hand, might not be. Well, isn't. But I might be able to get away with cutting out from the rear of the wheel arch there. To just in front of the boiler band there. And that might be enough. I mean, cutting out that section will probably also look better. It would look better if there wasn't a pickup and some wires in the way. What we're going to do for now is get the black wire on here. Then we'll measure that again, make sure those lines I've just put on there are still fine. Provided they are, we will cut that section out and see how it goes. Always have a plan B. So again, we're just getting these in. That needs to ideally come a bit further. Yeah, not quite that far, but sure, that's done now. Plan B, panic and wish you hadn't relied on plan A working. I mean that is a good plan B. That is a solid plan B. Getting fumey in here. And there we are. 2 sets of pickups nicely in place. Obviously the one with the black wire is slightly harder to see, although the red doesn't go too badly with the red interior frames. Remember everyone, hydration is important. And those pickups feel pretty solidly in place now. Let's test that, shall we? I'm going to take the wheels off. Because I don't want to damage them. It's a nice solid set of pickups there. Look there too is the bot reminding you hydration is important. It's not just me that says it. I don't even know when it's going to come up. I can never remember what the order of my commands on here is. And again, nice solid set of pickups. It's awesome, these are very handy. They are indeed. I got these from a lovely little model shop in Eastbourne. I even got a second pack of them, so I've got plenty. With them out the way, I'm going to try and move this red cable over slightly. So that I've got a clearer passage in the middle with the saw. How many in a pack? Good question. Does it say? This is a 12 pack. It looks like they do them in other sizes, but I'm not sure because they've got a slightly different code, so I'd want to check. But yeah, this is a 12 pack. Yeah, so the plan is now to attack it with one of the nice shiny new razor saw blades and put that Araldite to the test. Which really, I should not be doing this quickly after putting it on. I probably shouldn't be doing this before like 11:30. But guess what? That ain't happening. Now the problem is going to be having this somewhere it's on camera and I can see what I'm doing. Because you see the brass goes through and is soldered onto the plate from the bottom. So I'm rather restricted in how much I can cut off. as well as having this big motor mount in the way. But there was no way I could have done this before sticking it on. I'd have never got it to sit in place for long enough. The way to have done this and have space would have been to do this before putting the motor mount in. But in my defence, I hadn't thought of doing it then. We are about halfway there on the first side. We are, I believe, all the way there. Oh yes, definitely. The problem now is something to support this side. I should really have cut halfway, cut up. Never mind. That's better, he says. Talking purely about it being supported, not about how easy it is to cut, obviously. Because on the how easy it is to cut front, we've barely made any progress. This would be much easier with a Dremel. It would. But it's 10 o'clock at night. And I think a Dremel at the moment would put too much pressure on it. the amount of movement I'm getting in it with this, I think a Dremel would just take it straight off. I'm not convinced this has them, actually. About a quarter of the way there. Doing well, sir. Well, I hope I am. It would also be easier with a piercing saw. Nice thin blade I could put up through there and cut from that way. The problem there is I've got two piercing saws and no blades. But, you know, having piercing saw blades just be way too efficient, wouldn't it? You've not come to expect that from me. We're halfway there. If you aren't singing right now, you're doing it wrong. Don't punch the camera. That would be silly. Yeah, Araldite definitely not set properly. Not convinced these are in line with each other, never mind the wheels anymore. I'm learning a lot here. This sort of thing that would have me stumped totally. It stumped me for quite a while, so don't be worried about that. Right, with that bit off, I can now at least... Yeah, the gear's going to fit through there fine. So now we know that. And there's a link to the website from the chatbot. This chatbot located in deepest, darkest Sussex rather than Russia, which is nice. We're almost there. We are at least 3/4 of the way. I'm just not sure how much more this partially set araldite can take. Good evening, Ben. How are you? I hope you are well. This will definitely help when I eventually get the U-Class motor I've been looking at getting perhaps over the Easter holiday. Excellent. I'm glad to hear this is helpful. So you can go in there with a plan and not put a motor mount in the way of you doing this. 3/4 there. Because, you know, I make these mistakes, so you don't have to. Doing good. One of my orders is coming tomorrow. Oh, excellent. Anything exciting? See, that fits up through there now. And that fits down between them at the other end. Well, hey, we are there. We have the pickups fitted. So refill the hydration vessel because it's very empty and it does not want to be very empty. One gear's fitting is very beneficial to running. That it is. That it is. And remember, hydration is important. So now we can put the wheels back on with the gear in the middle, and then we can check. Before we do that, we want to check, don't we? I brought the body back over, that's right. I think we want to go slightly further forward than my forward mark there. So yeah, we can start putting this together. Ready for it to be a runner. This has a lot of rust on it, and that's going to make getting the gear over it rather awkward. I'm going to quickly clean that up. Just lightly with a file. Just to get rid of the corrosion, nothing more. Better. Jenny's home by the pinch of this running shortly. So am I. so am I. There we go, that's it nice and central now. So there we have the gear in place in between the pickups. Oh, into the DC test before putting the chip in. Have you reamed out the centre bearings before you fit the gear? Oh, it's all fine. It's all been done fine. But yes, we will be doing a DC test. And before we do that, we're going to be doing a short circuit test with the multimeter. Just in case. Interesting. So, multimeter. Let's make you stand up. That's a short circuit. Because, see, that should be doing that. That shouldn't. And that's why we test these things. So I'm just going to give it a visual inspection and see if I can see anything untoward causing that. I cannot. Are the isolated wheels on the same side? Yes. Isolated wheels are all down this side. But that is the next thing to test because we can remove the wheels nice and easily still. So we're going to remove the front wheels. And that's still a short circuit. And we're going to remove the rear wheels. And that's still a short circuit. And I'm not expecting that to change when I remove these wheels either. Now I don't really want to pull that gear back out again if I don't have to, because it wasn't particularly easy to get in there. This isn't going to solve it, and we are going to still have a short circuit. But we will at least have tested every step. Oh. There's no short circuit now. That solved it. Making a blooming liar out of me, isn't it? No matter where that's sitting, we're not getting a short circuit. So we'll put this wheel back on, which is the isolated one. Yeah, they are. They've already been checked for that. Right. No short circuit. And I can see that's the isolated wheel round there. This is its non-isolated opposite number. No short circuit. Rear wheels in place. Short circuit. I see nothing that should be causing that. We'll take the non-isolated one off. I wonder if the metal on the pickup's touching bare metal on the wheel somewhere. That's what I'm also starting to wonder, but it doesn't look like it. Short circuit, so that wheel is giving us a short circuit. I'll say it doesn't look like it is anywhere. Still shorting, right. Let's just double check here. No, we got a short circuit in the middle again. So you sold the bridge between the pickups and the chassis. That is, I would expect it to, well, to, yeah, words. I would expect it to short circuit all the time if I did that. But also, all my solder is on the top, away from the chassis. No short circuit. We do not get a short circuit by the wheels going round. What we get is confused. Very, very confused. There is no short circuit as I push that left to right either. Times like this, I wish I had several pairs of hands. No, I can squeeze them right in against the chassis. Oh, what did I do there? What did I do there? I know what it is. See that big brass gear I've got in the middle? Sat right next to that big lump of solder on the pickup. I know what it is. Where are my scissors when I want them? No, I have to take it all out, aren't I? Let's turn that off. Let's pop these in the pot before they go missing. Bye. Let's see. Now, the most annoying thing about this is that this is where I wanted to solder the decoder wire to. Which I can still do that, but it seems to be a lot more irritating to do. Yes, exactly, Linny. At least I found it. Once it's confirmed, and we've got the decoder wire soldered under there, I will drop a dab of super glue under the electrical tape as well, just to help keep it in place. In the meantime, hydration is important. It's on the saw at the minute, that's why it's missing a bit. So, it's nearly 10:30, everyone. What you all up to this evening? In fact, I might super glue the underside of this now. Today my hydration is in a can. Ooh, that's a different way to have hydration. Now I really do need my other bit of balsa. Never mind, I'll use this brass. Resting our 3-day show, set up the day before, and a product announcement on day 1. Not nice and quiet then. Turning an LTSR SCR Baltic into Monsterlized 460. Oh, that sounds interesting. Drinking tea. Drinking tea is a good thing to do. Not much. Painted the roof and stonework for the goods shed and station that arrived on Friday. Excellent. Good to see there is progress on that. Finishing my platform and doing a bit more work on the P class. Did someone say P class? My hydration fluid is sadly only coffee this evening. Is it not a bit late to be coffee drinking? May have discovered one of my other B2s may be factory fitted DCC. Oh. You'll have to get your NCE back out. And then, you know, remove the chip and send it to me, because why not? It has yellow and green wires rather than what the other two. Yellow and green? Yellow on DCC is for rear loco lights and green is for alternate function 1. Drinking hot cherry squash while researching 45XX cars for add-in transfers. Ah! Excellent. That does sound rather nice. I'm editing metadata on about 250 ebooks that I acquired, mostly military history, but some modelling. Oh, lots of interesting stuff then. So you can chip a terrier. Yeah, exactly. See, you know my thinking. Can't work out the last of the pipe work on the P though. What pipe work are you missing? That is the question. Right. That should be long enough for that super glue under there to have set. Well, so I had a lazy day today. I did go see good old Gladstone SCRD yesterday. Unfortunately, my rucksack wasn't big enough to take Gladstone home. Yes, I saw the picture of you trying to put Gladstone in your rucksack. It's a shame that you wouldn't fit. No. Yes, you are what I want. It's hard to tell all these little bits from each other, you know. Alright, that's nice and free sitting in there. Need to fit the boiler pipe work by the safety valves. So those pipes on that side and that one on that side, like that. Is that what you need? You'll need a bigger rucksack for next Scientific Gladstone. Yeah, exactly. Take a bigger rucksack next time, Alexander. And good evening, Javier. I don't think we've seen you here yet, have we? How are you doing? I do hope you are well. Very tired. Yeah, that's understandable. Looks like we have defeated the short circuit. Try to get Box Hill. Yeah, if you could grab Box Hill and bring it round here, that would be really helpful. Need a really big rucksack to get both of them. Not that piece. Thinking about DC though for more play value. Well, I've already ordered your loco from Rapido, Christopher. So you know, that is the efficient man that I am. Doesn't I have the part for the doesn't look like I have the part for the right side of the boiler. Oh, that's not good. You have to make it yourself. Quick disclaimer. It's been a long time since I built that P, and I can't remember where I got the information about what pipe goes where. Can be checked later on. Good. When did you receive the Tomat, by the way, Gary? Let me have a quick check and see if there's an update yet, Javier. Look at you making me log into my email. Join a live stream. It's not coming through to that email address. I want to log into the other one. Right, that's too far back. Oops. Look for the right email. There it is. View your order. It has no update with shipping info yet. That is the answer there. It's for the cause of delicious Toma goods. It is, you're right, Javier. Yep, I agree, because I'm really excited to get that. Right, so now yay, short circuit. Oh, he's done it again. And all the wheels are on the right side. I think it's this front pickup causing it this time. Gary proves himself wrong in 3, 2... Yep, there we go. Still there. That wasn't as simple and sorted as expected. Darn. Hydration is important. Whatever I did there stopped it, and now it's back. So it's when it's moving back this way that we're getting the short circuit. Could it be that I want to put some over this side as well? No, don't worry, Killian. The real life headache is much more of a headache than this. We are going to confirm that by, yeah, we'll pop both wheels off. And see if we can replicate by moving the axle with no wheels on it. Although that should now not actually short, even if it's the wheels causing it. Oh, this is a problem. Even if it's the cog causing it. That's what I meant to say. It's not the pickup, which makes me think it must be the cog. Oh, there we are. That's probably it. This pickup is very, very loose. In that I can push it away. So I probably want some fresh araldite on that. Because I've broken it. I've broken the araldite away when I was cutting it. Let's put this back onto the insulated axle so that we don't lose it. Lose which one it is. What I mean by that. Yeah, and of course on the bottom of the pickup, as I said earlier, is just a bare lump of solder. Ah, a bear. It's at rather an angle, that. Well, not cut very straight. So we can get rid of a bit of that material. Pickups touching gears, jumping across the top side. Basically, I think that's what's happening, yes. Could I be wrong? Definitely. Am I wrong? Most likely. Will we find out? At some point. I've taken all the paint off it as well. When I've pulled it away. So if I can get some fresh araldite on that and cover up, well, all the bare brass as well with the araldite, that should help, one does think. Yeah, I know, I find it amazing that I think as well. There's me thing, there's me thing. And there's me araldite. Part A first. I don't know why. I don't know which part is which, but part A first. And a roughly equal amount of part B. Thinking will get you into trouble. It's true, it will. I try to avoid it whenever I can. So we're just going to make sure we cover all the bits of bare brass. I repeat, bare. And now we're going to get stuck holding this because it doesn't want to stay in place. I think I'm going to have to head to bed. Been a long day. Okay, good night, Linny. Thank you for coming. Enjoy sleeping to recover from Model Rail Scotland. I hope they haven't got you working too hard for the rest of the week. Wrong account. It's an interesting account name there, Killian. It's funny how I wouldn't have needed to even check who it was really. See that's clearly you. No, it's not set yet. Just need it to set long enough to hold itself in place. And then we can get on with the body whilst it actually starts to cure a bit. So now's really the time you should be telling me what you're up to, not at 10:30 like when I asked earlier. Otherwise I'll just have to sit here and be a shill and say things like, tomorrow is the last day you can order a Rapido 16-inch Huntsley and you should definitely order them through me. Contact me on any of my social media and I can sort that out. Discord always being the best way of doing it. And nicely, people have done that today after Rapido announced it. So, you know, more Huntslets is best Huntslets. Grateful you have mine on hand already, sir. As soon as you requested it, I got it ordered. Because I can. Better call it night. See you. Okay, good night. Thank you for coming. Great to have you here as always. Speak to you soon. Sleep well. Don't work too hard. All the usual things. Securing print of LB&SCR 115. All very nice. Very nice indeed. Distribution payment for 3 B2 chassis in prep for body kits. Oh, what body kits are going on there? There we go. Like that's set enough that it's going to cure now. There's a little bit on my hands. I should deal with that. I'm trying to think of a colliery name. Oh, I mean, always the hardest part of a layout build, that I find. Not gonna lie. So we can flip this back into here, which is why I didn't want to have to take it out earlier. But needs must. 2 from Railway of both saddle and square tank Avonside B4. Ah, excellent. Also from them, Manning Wardle 16-inch. Yay for Manning Wardle. I plan on getting one of them at some point, but not until I've got the B2 to donate its chassis. I do have a W4 that's going to donate its chassis to a Hardy's Hobbies Manning Wardle, though. I reckon I'll only have one B2 at this rate, which pleases me greatly. Well, yeah, I mean, how many of the same loco do you need? It would be silly, wouldn't it? Once you've got one, you don't need any more, do you? I can't see why you'd collect lots and lots of same members of a loco class, ever. But yeah, at some point, I'll probably get 2 B2s. One to keep as a B2 and one to do as the Railway Mania Manning Wardle. Because I like Manning Wardles. It would be nice to have lots and lots of variety of Manning Wardles. And there is a link to the Streamlabs donations where you can set off a terrier whistle. So, you know, Enjoy that. Go set off a terrier whistle. No, still too thick. Tempt me not, Carrie. So what I was wondering earlier as well, if an RSH side tank like Mission 92 could fit on a B2 chassis. I have a feeling someone's done something similar at some point. I don't know if it's for the B2 chassis or not. Might be for the Electrotren chassis, I don't know. But I'm sure someone's done something similar to that. It's starting to give way. I'm going to get my groove in this end as well. Because then if I do bend it up, it at least has a point to bend at. Meat cleaver. Yeah, Javier's favourite tool, the meat cleaver. This is another one of those things that would be definitely be easier with the Dremel, except for I definitely cut through the bottom of the boiler, and you know it's 11 o'clock at night now. Okay, that's that side completely away. Making fine C-class. Well done. C2 class cuts, actually. There we go. Nicely done. And now the chassis sits back up like it should. Yay for chassis sitting like it should. Sitting too well, it didn't want to come off. And look, I can get into the bottom of the boiler to paint it now. Look at that with no short circuits. Isn't it wonderful? Now let's start adding the wheels and see if that carries on, shall we? Oh no! We're going to put the front and rear set on, because we don't think they're causing us any issues. There we go. And there's still no short circuit. Move wire. Where did I put my tape? I suppose I can put the knife back together now as a knife, actually. And we will put some glue around the bottom of that. As I say, once we know it runs and we've got the DCC chip soldered in, we will make sure we glue on the top of this as well. There we are. So that is both of those insulated on the inside. And of course this is not a thing that reflects on the pickups because this is due to me modifying them. They wouldn't be like this under normal circumstances. There it is. I couldn't see that there. I was getting worried. I know I'd find it though, because of course we don't lose things on this live stream. Okay, scrap that. Just realised one of these B2s is a local loco, so it will be just a square tank, Avonside B4 and Manning Wardle 16-inch. Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. So now, have we done it? No. How is there still a short circuit? How is that still shorting out? I'm going to refill the hydration vessel. That's the end of that bottle. Hydration is important. This makes absolutely no sense. Right, let's put the wheels on without the gear, shall we? There it is. So we've had it like this and checked it for continuity and had no short circuits back before it was painted. And yet there was a brief short circuit there. Obviously it didn't have pickups then, but we tested it for short circuits. So we know the chassis is good. It hasn't been fixing the short circuit. When I've been testing this, I'm thinking, oh, the short circuit's gone away. It hasn't. The wheel's been coming off the pickup. Well, that went well. At least it sits on there nicely now, though. We sorted that problem. Hydration is very, very, very important. There is nowhere that they are touching, that anything from the pickups is touching bare metal. They come close in a couple of places. Places. There's bits where insulation touches paint, but nothing that is metal on metal. I think the answer is I'm done for tonight, everyone. It's only 11:20, but without solving this, I can't really make any progress. And right now, my shoulder hurts and I've got a headache, and I'm not going to work it out tonight. You know, I do this live stream to show people how to model, primarily. You know, I set it up as an instructional thing. So right now I'm teaching you another lesson of know when to put it down and walk away and come back with a fresh pair of eyes and a fresh mind. There's no way I'm making any progress on this tonight. I'll have a look at it through the week and I'll probably come up with something. I'll probably spot something really obvious that I'm missing right now. And next Sunday we'll discuss that and we'll see what it was and we'll get it running. We've not managed it tonight, but it's not the end of the world. So we shall see. I'd like to thank you all for coming. I have had a good time sitting here talking to you, even if it hasn't all gone my way. And you know, this is the 136th live stream and it's the first time something has defeated me live. So I think we've done pretty well there. Yeah, thank you all for watching, everyone. I've had a good time. I hope you have too. I've been Gary. This has been Let's Build. You've been awesome as always. Good night.